What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another player prop video talking about Monday Night Football. In this one, Bengals and the Cowboys. We got 4 picks for you to consider, so stay tuned to hear all 4 of the picks. And if you guys want more picks from me, plus 5 of the top cappers, just posting our favorite picks right here in the Dynamo private Discord. We've been having some huge days here. You can see some massive wins, NFL, NBA, college football, also going on some crazy streaks here. We've been having a ton of big days. On Saturday, we went 17-2 across the cappers in the Discord. You're going to get access to our picks daily. You can see overall in the NBA, 7-2. And then in college football, a 9-0 sweep. And we're transparent about our picks. We don't have massive days every day, but we've been having a ton of big ones. Another one here in the last few days went 12-3 in the NBA with our picks, and then 4-0 in the NFL. So check it out with the link down below. Dynamo private Discord, access to more picks from me in all sports. Perfect time to lock in. We got NFL and the NBA every single day going on. Join up and lock in for the season. Also, if you guys are on Prizepicks, Underdog, you have to be on Parlay Play. A ton of free money and promos over there. You can join right now and get $5 in free entries just for signing up. No deposit required. You can find the link down below, and you can also see these payout boost specials and slash lines they have all the time. So you guys saw some of those big wins and the streaks we've been going on in the Discord. So access for more picks from me, plus a bunch of other cappers in all sports. Click that link down below to join up in the private Discord and sign up to play on Parlay Play. Now let's get into this one. So for the first pick, I'm going to go to Joe Burrow here, and I'm going to take him under on his interceptions. The line's here just at a half interception coming up against Dallas. The Bengals are almost a touchdown favorite. It's right around 6 points right now as the favorite they are in this game. But Cincinnati has been giving up a good amount of points. In this one, however, I do think that the Bengals can take care of business in this game. Cowboys have not looked great, even though they did win last week. I don't have faith in the Dallas team at all, so I do think Cincinnati is going to have a field day on him, and Burrow won't have to be forcing these tough throws where he's going to put himself in a situation to get an interception. So I like taking the under for Burrow on the interception here. Looking at Burrow on the season over on Outlier, first thing you can see is Dallas is just 11th in interceptions forced, so they get just zero point 0.8 per game, so not a ton of interceptions on the season for them. Burrow on the season has not thrown an interception in 7 of his 12 games. And then we can also come up here and toggle and only look at away games. On the road this year, he's only thrown 1 interception in 6 road games. And we can also look at last season. He threw an interception in just half of his games. But I think in this one, where they're big favorites, should be up, not passing a ton, and putting him in situations to have to force balls downfield, he should be in a good spot here to keep control of the ball and get this run game going a bit and control the clock and the game here without having to make a ton of crazy throws. So for those reasons, I like going to the under on Burrow on the interceptions. Additionally, one of the top turnover guys on Dallas as far as interceptions is going to be Trayvon Diggs. He is questionable for this game, so also if he doesn't play in this one, it's going to be just a little added bonus because he is one of the best playmakers on their defense as far as getting interceptions. So moving on to the next pick, we're going to go to Chase Brown, and we're going to take him over on his rushing yards. This one's at 74.5, so I liked taking the over here against Dallas, who gives up a ton of rushing yards, and I think Chase Brown is going to be in for a big one. He's been really good since he's kind of taken over as the lead back on this team, so I think he can have a massive day here with Cincinnati controlling the ball, controlling the clock and the game in this one, like we said earlier. So I think that's going to play into Chase Brown having another massive game here. Looking at Chase Brown on this season, obviously it's not going to be a high hit rate because earlier in the season wasn't getting a ton of carries, but 3 of 12 times on the season he's gone over this. 2 in his last 4 he's gone over, but it's had some really tough matchups in those last 4 games, like Pittsburgh and Baltimore in the 2 that he didn't hit this. So in a game where they're actually favorites and expected to win this game, coming up against a team you can absolutely run on, he's going to be in a much better spot here, and almost hit it against Pittsburgh too. You can see Dallas gives up the 31st most rushing yards, so second last in the league as far as the rushing defense, giving up almost 148 rushing yards per game. So Chase Brown should be in line for a great spot and we could see the uptick in rush attempts for him. 27 attempts in this one game, 22. Seen 13 and 12 in those two tougher matchups, but were close and games that they lost, so they were throwing more. And this one, where they're expected to be up, should be getting more carries than 12 and 13, closer to 15, 16, maybe even 17 carries. His rush attempt line here is set at 16 and a half for this game, so that would be the third most carries he's gotten all season as well. All right, so let's move on to Dallas here. For Dallas, first one I like going to is going to be Jake Ferguson here at 4 catches. They're going to have to be passing a lot in this game, and I think that Jake Ferguson is going to be in line for a big one. He's one of the underneath targets that's going to get a lot of work here from Cooper Rush most likely. So I think he can hit 4 catches, something he's been doing all year. The tight ends have been big as well with Cooper Rush back there. So I think Jake Ferguson is going to be in a great spot. And actually looking at Jake Ferguson over on OddsJam, which is a tool that I use every day for player prop research, you could see this line compared to a bunch of other sites. So it's 4 here. Most other sites like FanDuel, DraftKings have this at 4.5 plus 105. Is pretty close to even here. Caesars has it at plus 102 at 4.5, and even Parlay Play has this one up at 4.5. Fliff has it at 4.5 as well. And then down here you can see Chase Brown, that line we just took. They like the over as well at 74.5, 75.5 on Caesars. And Hot Streak, I guess if you're on Bovada, you can get it here at 72.5. So another great tool for some research. It'll be linked down below. But for Ferguson, let's look at the snap count here for Dallas. So you can see Ferguson will commonly play 62 to 84% of the snaps in games. Didn't play the last 2 games, and then played just 8% of snaps before getting hurt in week 11. And then we saw Luke Schoonmaker have a huge game without him in week 13 and in week 11 when he got hurt, filling in here for him. If you look at Schoonmaker here, 5 catches in that last game against the Giants, just 3 before that, and then 6 in that one where he got hurt. So Schoonmaker in his place has been having some big games. So I think that bodes well for Jake Ferguson. And then looking at him over here on Outlier, you can see Cincinnati gives up the 23rd most receptions in the league, but versus tight ends, the 28th most. So they give up over 6 catches per game to tight ends, which is good to see for this matchup. And then on the season, 5-9 hit rate on this one. But really, he got 4 in this because we're looking at the 4.5 line. So 1 was a push, so it's really 5 of 8 he's hit this. And then you can take out the Houston game as well because he only played 8% of snaps before getting hurt. So really, it's like a 5 of 7 hit rate on the season for this one if you take out the push and the game where he got hurt. All right, the next one we're going to is Brandon Cooks, 26.5 receiving yards. Would normally be in exceptionally low line for Cooks, but we did see him come back and play limited snaps, even though I do believe he scored a touchdown in that first game back. I think they're going to get him more incorporated. If we look at the snap count on the season for Cooks, first 4 games, 79 to 82% was what he was playing in all 4 games. First came back, played just 39% of the snaps, and I think they were easing him back into this one. And in this upcoming game here, going to get back up to 60+% of snaps. It's kind of my prediction for him, and to be more involved here. So coming back, I think he's going to be having a bigger role. He's always that deep downfield target, so can really catch this on one play here, get a 27-yard catch, or a shorter catch and like a 20-something yard catch. He's very viable to do that. So he could just do this with 2 catches, which is another thing you like about Brandon Cooks. And I think that snap count will be increased. Also, looking at Cooks here, was not a good start to the season for him in those first 4 games. Had 40 in the first one, and then 19, 16, 16. That first game back, playing 39% of the snaps. Still got 16 yards in limited work. Then you can see Cincinnati 27th in the NFL in receiving yards allowed. So I think he's coming into a good matchup, not like this one against Baltimore. So I think he's coming into better matchups. Last year, looking at this, he was absolutely smashing it. 11 of 17 games, he hit this. And in his last 10, he hit it in 8 of his last 10 at the end of last year. So I think he can absolutely smash this and should be seeing an increased role. So liking this one for Cooks as well. And if you guys want more picks from me plus a bunch of other cappers, we'll have more picks for this game. These are their early look picks, but also we post in here every day NBA, college football. You can see some of the huge wins that private Discord members have been having over here, and we're not going to guarantee we're going to have huge days every day, but we do have some big ones. And recently we've been having a lot of big ones, like 17-2 overall from the cappers on Saturday, including 7-2 in the NBA, 9-0 sweep in college football. Some more big streaks and wins, 12-3 in the NBA between the cappers, and then 4-0 on one of the single game slates here in the NFL. Another 6-6 day for me. So check it out with the link down below. You can lock in for NFL, NBA season picks in there daily. We brought together some of the top cappers for player props all in one Discord. So click the link to check it out. And if you guys are playing on Prizepicks, Underdog, but not parlay play, you have to be over here. You could join now and just get $5 free, no deposit required. Plus they have a ton of promos here. Slash line on De'Aaron Fox up right now, and I'm sure they'll have some promos up for this game as well. You can see what I did with my $5. Took a slash line and another one, and they have a ton of promos, like a free over a half pass yard. So I took that with another slash line for basically another 3x. So check out parlay play as well, and we'll see you guys over in the Discord. You saw the big wins and the streaks, so we'll see you guys over there, and subscribe to the channel.